Yo, what up, y'all? It's the IE phone guy. Today I got a big announcement to make. Now I'm gonna follow it up with the science, the math, and just the spirit and soul of the actual announcement. Let's get straight into it. First and foremost, I am gracefully bowing out of the bounce house hustle. Peace, deuce, thanks for the good times. And I am going balls deep into foam and water slides. Yes. Let's go ahead and discuss how I came to this decision, what pushed me in this direction, and what I got going forward. First and foremost, gang, to operate a bounce house business is expensive. And those expenses are beating my ass. Very specifically, insurance and storage. Now, if you have something set up at the crib where your storage is straight, you're clean, you're good to go, then shout out to you, but that's not my case. So I had to rent a storage unit. And as I got more units, more bounce houses, slides, and all of that, had to get a bigger storage unit. And as I told y'all before, when you get your storage set up, you want to be able to actually walk around inside of it so you can navigate and grab and take very specific bounce houses with you that you may need in that immediate moment, in comparison to it being cramped and you got to take out maybe 3-4 bounce houses to get to the one you want to get to. All of this is expensive. Insurance is so mandatory, and I think a lot of people really don't understand how it works in this industry. But basically, you're getting liability, and it's expensive because a lot of our peers are dumb. Straight up, they're idiots. It is heartbreaking how many people have told me, hey, the other guys, they didn't use those stakes, or they didn't use whatever on the bounce house. I've had about 3 people try to debate with me that topic because I was using a stake in their lawn. And I went back and forth with them. Well, did they use water bags? Did they use sandbags? What was the case? And unfortunately, they're like, nah, nothing. And 3 of these dudes were arguing with me. The others are really just having conversation. And I explained to each and every one, sorry, bruh, but your kids were in danger, dog. Like, these motherfuckers need to be anchored down. And the amount of people that did tell me, yeah, it did tip over, or it did fall forward, or it did fall on its side, is ridiculous. And to me, it's fully unacceptable and just stupid that there are people who will put other people's children at risk just so they could save $20 to $30 one time. It's a one-time transaction. You literally reuse the same stakes. You don't need to buy new ones every single time you take them out. It's literally stupid. And let me be clear on something real quick. If you're one of these people, you're a piece of shit. You're a horrible human. Catch his fade when we see each other, dog. Cause doing shit like that, that's clown shit, homie. You're in the wrong industry, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Catch these hands when we see each other. If you're not anchoring your shit, whether it's sandbags, water bags, whatever it may be, actual stakes, if you're not doing that, you're a piece of shit human. I got hands, homie. I'm gonna be a problem for you when we cross paths. I don't like that shit one bit. And because of these type of idiots, kids do get hurt. Kids do clonk their heads and they do have injuries. Also, people setting up during poor weather conditions. And then also just kids being bad and fighting. For all of those reasons, people actually get hurt in this hustle. And that drives up the cost in the industry. And we have to just pay that cost. So right now, I'm paying over $6,000 a year for insurance. That's a pretty penny. You then add storage to it, and lordy, there's a good bill a month. Now, by all means, all businesses definitely have operating expenses, so I'm not hating on that detail, but in comparison to foam, shit. My insurance is literally about 90% less. Yeah, bruh. I pay about $600 a year for insurance for the foam hustle. Some of y'all probably already did the math, but for the rest of y'all that are a little slow, there's a lot of foam parties that the booking is more than $600. So there's a very real possibility that just one booking could pay for your entire year of insurance. And then when looking at storage, you really have a lot more options available to you. Very specifically, the foam cannons and the foam pits can be stored in the actual totes that you use at the booking for your water supply. So wherever you could fit those foam totes, you can use as storage. So that could be your backyard, that could be your garage. You don't have to worry about a lot of details in comparison to jumpers. If it rains, if it snows, it doesn't matter because they're in the totes. So they're safe and secure. Unlike if you had your bounce houses in the backyard and then it rains and you had this big old mess and disaster. That's just not the case here at all. Even if you live in an apartment, manufactured home, mobile home, that small patio yard that very often comes with such would be enough space. And as I mentioned in a previous video, if you just have a good sized closet, there's a very real chance you could store 2 to 3 totes in there and yet still have your clothes in there. You simply cannot compare that. Imagine trying to put a water slide or a bounce house in your closet, bruh. But if you still need to get a storage unit, it could be a much smaller one in comparison to the bounce houses because you could stack totes on top of each other, or since they have the wheels on them, you can have them side by side in a much smaller unit, again, in comparison to the bounce houses. What I personally do is I put the foam cannons on bottom and the foam pits on top because the foam pits are much lighter, something like 20 to 30 pounds. So there's no type of impact at all on the tote below it. Game changer, a trillion times more cost efficient. And again, something you could even do in the backyard or garage. The next detail, and I talked about this in a previous video, but bounce houses are really time consuming. Not only because of what goes out must come in, but the general drive time, the unload time, setup time, and then you have to go back to pick it up, and then you have to roll it back up, you have to load it back up, take it to the next destination, which is likely home, to clean it. And cleaning these motherfuckers is time consuming, dog. It is not something that each bounce house is 2-3 minutes. Not at all, dude. You're gonna take time, it's gonna take effort, it's gonna take sweat. And when you really factor that in and kind of create an hourly rate using the rental costs and the amount of time you put in, you're not really paying yourself a whole lot of money. And that's frustrating. That's not what we're in this hustle for, to pay ourselves a smaller amount of money. And please, please, please remember that you have to do all of this for multiple bounce houses. If you're rolling your eyes and being like, damn, this fool lazy, first off, watch how you talk to me. And 2, remember, bro, 8 bounce houses go out. That means you gotta do this for 8 bounce houses, dog. And all of that for the bounce houses is really time consuming. Whether you're a parent, a family man, whatever it may be, a sugar daddy, fantasy football superstar, please remember that you have to pick up whatever you drop off. So if you're dropping off 6 bounce houses from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., you don't have the rest of the day to chill and have a good time, to be a husband, to be a coach, to be a dad, whatever it may be, because you have to go pick up that shit at night. Be mindful. You're not going to be able to go fishing or to the club or Vegas, whatever, dog. And that's a big challenge. That is something that is extremely difficult. Now, by all means, you do have to take care of your foam equipment. For example, I always operate my foam for every booking. I never drop it off for the people just to use as they please, but it's the length of the party. My bad, the length of the booking. So if it's 2 hours, the entire thing is potentially 3 hours tops, and then I'm done with it. The foam cannons, you just have to wipe down for the foam residue that shoots back at you and spills out. I would say probably 30 seconds to a minute per cannon. But the foam pits you do have to clean, yet it's still much easier than that bounce house because it doesn't have the ceiling. It only has technically 3.5 walls and it has no floor. So you just drench it, get your towels, your spray, your wipes, wipe it down, and then let it air dry. For you, I would say it's about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's it. But you also don't need a foam pit. If you only have foam cannons, that literally doesn't exist at all. Or if the pit doesn't go out, that doesn't exist at all. Therefore, you can completely remove that variable, and that's dope. That's a game changer. So if you only have cannons, you're literally talking about 1 minute per cannon. And I love that. It really makes a difference. And as you get more and more bounce houses, that's more and more time. You're gonna clean 6 to 10 bounce houses on a Sunday night, a Monday, a Tuesday. That's just a lot of work. That's a lot of effort that simply doesn't exist in the foam hustle. And the next detail, just to be blunt and direct, these bounce houses are heavy as shit, dog. These motherfuckers will blow your back out. Pause. Yo, pause. What? That was crazy. But these motherfuckers will blow out your ligaments, dog, your muscles, you feel me? These motherfuckers 300, 400 pounds, and they definitely have equipment that you can purchase to make the whole shit less difficult, but there's nothing that'll make it easy. There's nothing that'll make it lightweight, easy work. That just doesn't exist as of 2025. You're gonna have to put in some sort of effort, some sort of muscle to move those motherfuckers, to clean them, whatever it may be. And to be blunt, dog, that shit does not exist with foam. The foam pits are about 20 to 30 pounds. I can literally carry them on my shoulder, no issue at all. The foam cannons are somewhere from 30 to 50 pounds. I could carry them with one arm, no issue. I can literally carry a foam cannon and a foam pit at the same time. But also don't forget that you put them in the tote, and the tote has wheels. So that just makes the whole shit a trillion times easier. At the end of the day, your back's not gonna be hurting. You're not gonna feel sore in your arms or anything like that at all. And that's beautiful. But with bounce houses, you can get fucked up doing that shit. I know people in real life, and I've talked to other people online that have actual injuries from this hustle. They've actually slipped disc and shit like that, bruh. And that ain't no joke. That ain't nothing cool at all. Especially with so many folks treating this like a side hustle. Nah, dog. And the next detail that's really impactful, and I want y'all to really understand, is transportation. No need for a trailer or a certain type of truck of any sort. If you can fit the tote into the backseat of your Ultima, dog, you're good. And this detail makes it a whole lot easier to actually get employees and assistants. You don't have to share your trailer or find somebody that has a truck or trailer, you know what I mean? And I be lugging these motherfuckers around, dog. Having a trailer and all that, that's not it. I never had this issue, thank God. But I know people that got in their trailers jacked before. That's garbage. That shit is trash, and that shit does not exist with foam. So all in all, to sum it up, the shit is time consuming, the shit is difficult, and challenging physically, and also you're not really getting the greatest ROI, especially if you factor in not only the time you have to put in, but the time away from other things that may be enjoyable, such as being a sugar daddy or going to Vegas. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, but that's my reasoning and that's my experience. Next, I want to talk about what I'm going to do moving forward. First things first, I sold all of my bounce houses except two. The first one is a 13 by 13 cupcake. It has very low mileage, but yet it's a popular rental. So I'm going to keep it at least for another summer. There's a good chance come October time, it'll be for sale. And the second one is a 10 by 10 basic purple and green bounce house that does stupid numbers for me in communities that I feel the industry really overlooks. It's mobile homes, townhouses, condos, and apartment complexes. They have very small pieces of land available to them, so they really can't do the 13 by 13s, definitely not 15 by 15s, combos, none of that. But if they own the property, or if you talk to the people that own the property or community, you could actually go through a nice little easy process where you basically get approved to set up. And it's really, really, really dope for your business, but also really dope for those communities. There's a gang of kids that just never had bounce houses at their parties for that very specific reason. I found out you can make a phone call or two, get it set up, boom, easy. And I'm gonna continue to just really cater to that community. So I'm gonna keep at least two bounce houses. There's a good chance that after I sell the 13 by 13 cupcake, I'm gonna go ahead and basically swap it out inventory wise with another 10 by 10 so I can continue to work with that community. Two bounce house rentals is very doable. I'm not tripping on that one bit. In addition to that, I'm gonna keep two water slides, at the absolute most three. And the reason I'm doing this is because they team up very nicely for bookings with foam cannons. You can make some major bread in a very short period of time when you rent them out together. Second to that, slides rent for a gang of money. One water slide is literally 2 to 3 bounce houses, and I love that. I absolutely just adore that. It really throws out a lot of the variables I mentioned earlier when you're talking about rentals for like 150, 180, stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep two on deck, potentially three, and just move forward with that. And the next step, complete focus, completely locked in on foam. Yes, foam. Listen, I love this shit. I'm passionate about it. It's fucking dope. I definitely feel like bounce houses is a side hustle. And there's absolutely been times at 6 p.m. when I'm like, shit, I gotta go pick up these damn bounce houses. I ain't ever felt that way in my life about foam. I absolutely love the experience. I love being out there with the people, whether it's kids and I'm pointing at them, threatening them that I'm gonna shoot them with the foam cannon, or it's grown ass adults, whatever it may be. I've had amazing experiences at foam parties. I booked raves, I booked golf courses, I booked some nasty adult parties where I had to sign NDAs. It was crazy and it was so dope, and all of it is so much fun and I love it. I love it the way an MC loves bars. I love it the way an athlete loves their sport. I'm passionate about it. It's not a side hustle. It's not some shit for extra bread for me. It's some shit I absolutely love. And I'm putting it into the universe right now. The next phase after this is gonna be a water park. And the water park is gonna be based around foam and water slides. I've already done the research. I already know the land. I already know the equipment I want. I know how much it costs. I know what I need to do cash-wise. I know what I need to do credit-wise. I got it all planned out. The amount of acres, everything. Manifesting that shit. Go ahead and Put your company name in the comments. Go ahead and screenshot that shit. And when I open up this water park, come through, dog, and let's chop it up. Let's see what year it is. Let's see how we're both doing, what's going on. Let's do it. Trust, man. I love this foam shit. I believe in this foam shit. 10 years from now, it's going to be a juggernaut of an industry. And me, I'm going to be the big dog in this shit. I'm going to be that dude the media reaches out to when they want to do interviews, documentaries, and all of that on the foam industry. Yo, race me to the top, dog. Let's compete. Let's see who climbs higher, dog. Let's do it, man. I know what I'm capable of. Let's see what you got, dog. Let's see what you could do, man. Let's get it cracking, homie. I'm the IE phone guy, and I know this information will help.